going on, guys? MariK here, back with another Dragon Ball Super deck profile. I know it has been a hot minute, and life has really been trying to screw us over, but I do appreciate all of your patience and you guys sticking with us and supporting us through this time. Technical difficulties aside, we are getting these deck profiles out to you, and the first one I wanted to start off with is one I've been working on for quite a while trying to get it to work, and I just could not figure out the best way to do it until Set 9 came out. The reason for that is now the deck has a leader that supports its playstyle and doesn't leave it defenseless every single turn. The leader is the new Son Goku reboot leader. With new abilities, this leader actually works a little bit better than its previous incarnation, in my opinion. You can only place up to 6 energy in your energy area. That is new wording on the card, and I think the reason for that, where the original said you can only have 6 energy in your energy area, is because of decks like the Set 7 Zamasu deck with all the Goku Black stuff that put cards in your opponent's energy. Kind of that way, it's still saying you can only place those 6, but if your opponent's playing a playstyle like that that puts your stuff in your energy, then they can still do so without this leader being a complete 100% immortal counter to that deck. The new auto lets you choose one card in your hand, put it in the drop area, and when he attacks, you put a card in your life in your energy in rest mode, which is really cool. On the one hand, it's a little more cost intensive. You're going to lose a little more card advantage, but this deck kind of makes up for that with its abilities. We'll get into that in a moment. And this also lets you ramp the deck up a little faster as well as also getting yourself awakened a lot quicker. The leader's awakened side is what truly allows him to shine. At the end of your turn, you can choose 3 of your mono blue energy, switch them to active mode. This deck is a complete mono blue deck anyway, so you're never going to have any energy that is not mono blue. And when he attacks, you get to draw a card, so that'll help out with the hand advantage issues that you're dealing with at the start of your match. Now that it can only switch mono blue energy, it's more or less suited to a mono blue deck. You can still run multicolor energy in the deck, however, since you can only switch mono blue, you have to have at least 3 mono blue to be able to get the full effect of the leader, and otherwise it just kind of doesn't really work, and it doesn't seem right to lose out on that extra untap. So the first card in the deck is going to be Saiyan Bloodline Son Goku. When you play him, you get to search the top 3 cards of your deck, add a yellow or blue Saiyan among them to your hand, and put the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. This is going to be your turn 1 play. It's going to get you an extra card, which is going to kind of mitigate the abilities of your leader, and it's also going to help you search your deck out for your combo pieces. I went with this card over the Kind Saiyan Son Goku because there's really not enough Goku in the deck to really justify playing that card, whereas every card in this deck is blue, and every battle card in this deck is going to be Saiyan besides your super combo, so you're never going to have to worry about whiffing on this ability unless you just hit nothing but extra cards. Then we run 3 Saiyan Duo Son Goku. He's a 2-cost that says, when you play this card, you get to discard a card, choose a Saiyan Duo Vegeta from your deck or drop area, and play it in rest mode. The Vegeta says, when you play this card, choose one of your energy and switch it to active mode. His permanent only allows you to play Vegito battle cards while he is in play, and when both of them are in play in your battle area, they both get 9,000 power, so makes it a little easier to keep him alive. You're not ideally going to want to play these on turn 2. Unless your leader ability has kicked off, you're not going to have the energy to be able to really do anything with your combo plays. This could be a turn 2 play if you have, say you went first, you've got your energy that you charged from turn 1, and from turn 2, you've used his ability both on your first and second attack, so if you went second actually, then you're at 4 energy, then you're free to use your combo pieces, so you kind of have to be careful and make sure not to play these 2 cards too early, but when you do play them, you're going to go into Vegito Powers Combined. You Union Patara him for 1 energy on top of the Saiyan Duo Goku and Vegeta, and when you play him, you get to draw a card, and since you played him with Union, you can draw a second card. Now, this is why I say you have to choose the turn you play this combo carefully, because if you don't have the energy, you're basically playing the Goku and the Vegeta for 1 energy, because the Vegeta is going to switch energy to active mode, so then you'll have an energy to Union Patara into Vegito, but then with no more energy, you can't go anywhere with it. So if you did get off an attack on your first and second turn, you should be at 4 energy. You should have the energy to be able to then do the combo, so you're going to attack with Vegito Powers Combined. you're going to use his activate main for 2 energy, choose a Vegito other than himself in your energy with less than or equal to the energy in your energy area and play it, and then he's going to go in your energy and rest mode. So once you do that, you're then going to play Vegito, World's Strongest Candy. His permanent says he can only be played from your energy. So anytime you draw this card, you're going to immediately charge him because you cannot play him from any other areas. When you play him, you can't play him for the duration of the turn. And his activate main just says choose one Vegito, powers combined in your energy area, play it, and put him in your energy and rest mode. So after powers combines attacks, World's Strongest Candy is going to come out. It's going to get a free swing in. Then it's going to get a free switch back to powers combined, which then once played is going to let you draw another card. If you played this combo at the right time, you could then go into Vegito at full throttle. He's going to be your main attacker with this deck. He's got double strike, he's got dual attack, 25,000 power. That's a lot of damage coming at your opponent. He also can only be played from your energy, so anytime you draw him, you're going to want to charge him as well. And when you do play him, you get to choose an opponent's battle card with barrier, ignore barrier, and then turn it to their owner's hand. It's unfortunate that it does not allow you to KO the battle card, because then they can play it again, but it does still remove it off the board and forces them to use those resources and the energy if they do want to play it again. Now, alternatively, if full throttle isn't what you want to go for, or you're not in a position where you want to be on the offensive, then when you're at 4 energy, you can also go into Awe-Inspiring Intimidator Super Saiyan Blue Vegito. This is going to be your main defensive card in the deck, and it's a pretty powerful one too. When your leader is blue and he's in rest mode, he gains barrier and your opponent cannot attack your leader card. When you play him, if you have 5 energy, you can draw a card. That's really not that big a deal, but it's also not that hard to get to, again, with this leader. Now, this card is stupid good, especially in this deck, because, 1, you can do all that combo stuff, get to this Vegito, attack. As soon as he attacks, he gains barrier because he immediately goes to rest mode. And then, your opponent is forced to attack him. You're obviously at 4 energy because you played this card. Your opponent is probably still at 2 or possibly coming up to 3 energy. So, they're going to have to play a card that can go over this card, or that they can combo enough cards to get around it. However, with the Super Saiyan 3 Reboot Leader, you're going to have 3 energy on your defensive step to play around with and to go ahead and counter your opponent's cards. You're also going to have ample opportunity to be able to defend Super Saiyan Blue Vegito with your combo cards. So personally, I think it's a great decision to go either way with Full Throttle or Super Saiyan Blue Vegito. Either one is a great choice depending on the needs and the specific matchup you are in. And the fact that they can both be played on the exact same turn at the exact same amount of energy is what gives you so much flexibility with this deck. Then for our super combo, we have Zamasu, Sacred Disbelief. He is the only non-mono blue colored card in the deck, but obviously you're never going to charge your super combo, so we don't have to worry about that interfering with the leader's ability. Now, I chose this one because with the amount of control that this deck has, the Zamasu super combo is perfect for that. When you combo with it, you get to choose one of your opponent's leader cards or battle cards and switch it to rest mode. So not only if your opponent's attacking your Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, you can combo the Zamasu to help protect him, and then choose another card and switch it to rest mode, and effectively shut your opponent's turn down. While basically you're using one card to stop 2 attacks. It's a minimal effort to protect your cards, to protect your assets, and then turn around and throw it back at your opponent the next turn. Honestly, like, the Beerus super combo is not a terrible card, but on your turn, you're already going to have, or on your opponent's turn, you're already going to have 3 open energy anyways, so I don't really see where that 1 extra energy is worth it, whereas the Zamasu can pretty much shut down 2 attacks in one play. Otherwise, the only other blue multicolor super combo is the Android 18, which is doing dick all for this deck anyways, so I honestly think that Zamasu is by far the best super combo to use for this deck. Then for added extra defense, we have Shu Delusia Power. Basically, the Delusia Power cards are like extra super combos without the bonus ability. So when you combo with it, since your battle card is blue, he's going to gain an additional 5,000 power. So it's like comboing on your battle card with another super combo, and this will be a perfect card to protect any of your cards, really, whether it be when you're attacking with Full Throttle or when you're defending yourself with the Super Saiyan Blue Vegito. It just gives you a minimal effort to keep your stuff alive while still supporting what your deck is trying to accomplish. And this card can also be used during your attack phase too. So if you're swinging with Vegito at full throttle, that double strike dual attack, then Shu is going to give him an additional 10,000 power, which can really make a difference when you're trying to go for the win. Then we've got easily the most common staple for blue decks. It's Senzu Bean. Gives a card an additional 5,000 power for the duration of the entire turn, and allows you to untap 2 of your energy. So you're getting a free energy back. You're getting 5,000 power for the duration of the turn, which is not only great for your leader, but especially fantastic for that Super Saiyan Blue Vegito when you're on your defensive step. 5,000 power doesn't seem like a lot, but when it's for the turn, that can make a huge difference in whether or not your opponent can push to get through him, and whether or not you can keep him alive long enough to survive a round. I honestly don't think I've ever built a blue deck that didn't run 4 Senzu Beans. It is just easily one of the best extra cards we've had in the entire game, and I just don't think any blue deck should play without it. Then we've got another new card from Set 9. It's Ultra Instinct Goku's Kamehameha. It's an activate battle card. It says if your leader is blue, you can choose one of your leader battle cards gets 15,000 power for the duration of the battle. That is going to be substantially huge when defending your Super Saiyan Blue Vegito or pushing for game with that full throttle. Both of those two cards are the main focus of the deck, and there's so many cards to either increase the offensive output of full throttle or to increase the survivability of that Super Saiyan Blue Vegito. Now, depending on whose turn it is when you're activating this card, if it's your turn, you get to draw a card, so you get an additional draw to push for more damage with full throttle, or you'll get another energy untapped if you're defending with your Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, which then can let you play another one, can let you play a Senzu Bean, even giving you enough energy for your counter cards. This is a fantastic card, and again, I feel like it's almost just a staple for every blue deck. Our first counterplay of the deck is You're Wide Open. Not only is it Vegito themed, it just fits the deck so well, but also because this card is basically a free counterplay with this leader. Your leader is going to give you 3 energy on your opponent's turn. This card costs 2 to play, and you're going to be able to counter every battle card your opponent plays that is a 4 cost or less. And since it's a counter card, it'll prevent any abilities from activating when a card is put into play. So I feel like this was just a super solid card to use. You could use the Absolute Release Ball that came out in Set 8, but the reason I choose this one over that one is ideally, they do the exact same thing. You're going to be at 4 life to play this one because you're needing the energy back from the Awakened ability, or the other one needs to be at 4 life to be able to play it and get the ability. So the difference being that one counters for 3 energy, but this one counters any card 4 energy, and the Absolute Release Ball lets you restand in energy, but that restanding in energy really is not necessary. It's just like with the Beerus Super Combo. It's not something that's needed with this leader because the leader gives you 3 free energy at the end of your turn. So this just seemed like the correct counterplay to put into this deck. The last card is what I feel is probably the most powerful counterattack in the entire game, and it is Mokuba. This card has been a staple in decks or side decks since its release in Union Force. You get to negate the attack, but since you're not choosing the card, you're not choosing your target or anything, you're just placing this card on top of the attacking card. And when that happens, it no longer counts as a battle card. It cannot be interacted with. It can't switch to active mode. It can't switch to rest mode. It is stuck in the Mokuba jar for the next 2 turns. And then at the end of your opponent's next turn, this card will go in the drop area, and that card will be free. But it gives you 2 turns free of whatever menacing card is attacking you. If it's something you don't want to deal with or you don't want to try and combo over it to protect, like, say, Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, then you can just Mokuba it, and you can rest easy having 3 energy and having a Mokuba in hand every single turn, just knowing that if your opponent drops something stupid, you will be able to stop it. When I decided to revamp this deck for this new leader, I knew right away that Mokuba had to be a card that was in this deck. As a side note, one card that I did try to fit into the deck is Bursting Energy Super Saiyan Vegito. This is a promo back from the Union Force days that I absolutely love this deck. For those of you that have been around our channel for a long time, you know that we had a hyper aggro Blue Vegito deck that kind of focused on using this card. It was kind of the precursor to essentially what this deck became, and this is a fantastic card. It fits in perfect with this deck, but you have to be at 6 energy to be able to play him from your energy with the Powers Combined Vegito. And while not terribly difficult to do with the new leader, it almost felt like it was redundant in this deck. So, compare, for example, this card to Full Throttle. They both have 25,000 power. They both have Double Strike. However, Full Throttle has dual attack and also has the ability to KO a card with Barrier. Or, well, bounce it back to the hand. This card, on the other hand, lets you choose a card in your life, put it in your drop area, and you get 2 more energy to active mode. That can kind of fuel your plays a little bit, but between Sensu Bean, between the leader's abilities, I don't really know how much help that extra 2 energy is going to be. The other reason I had this card in the deck is because the previous iteration of this build that I never got around to doing a profile on had the Soul Striker leader, and with that leader, being able to switch the 2 energy to active mode on your turn, on top of this card, being able to switch 2 energy to active mode on your turn, that gives you 4 energy to play with when you're in your offensive step. That could allow you to play another Super Saiyan Blue Vegito. It could allow you to play another Full Throttle. It would give you more offensive options on your turn. But with the Super Saiyan 3 Reboot Leader, it just didn't feel like this card was as necessary in the deck, and it kind of felt like Full Throttle would be the better play if you're going for an aggressive play. So, unfortunately, as much as I love this card, it just didn't make the cut this time around. But that's going to go ahead and wrap up this deck profile. This one was a lot of fun for me, just because I love Vegito, and I was excited when we got the Blue Vegito support, but also let down because it just couldn't support itself on its own at the time. I feel like with the better super combos and the iconic attack rares and the new leader, I feel like the deck holds itself up a little bit better. You don't have to worry about tapping out, and you've got plenty of defense as well as offensive capabilities with the deck. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you want, give it a try. Let me know how it goes. Let me know any changes you make to the deck and any matchups you have. I would love to be able to take this deck and make it better. Maybe not like meta competitive, but at least make it to where it can hold its own against some of the better decks. With that, though, we're going to go ahead and get the frig out of here, and we'll see you guys in the next video.